Don't forget your mic.
We're gonna be here 30 minutes, okay?
Okay, I'm ready. Hi.
Hi, Robert Henderson here, and my daughter Hyacinth. I'm Henderson Financial Group. Yes, we are, and we just love y'all.
Welcome.
Happy Wednesday.
Thank
Why
you.
don't we say that? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I'm Robert Henderson Jr., founder, CEO of the Henderson Financial Group, located here in Miami Lakes, Florida. We're a full service financial planning firm. We got clients all over the country and out of the country. We love what we're doing. We've been doing this for over 30 years. This is my wonderful, beautiful, talented daughter, who's the co-CEO of the Henderson Financial Group. She's going to tell you more about her.
Hi, I'm Hyacinth Henderson, co-CEO of the Henderson Financial Group, just like he said.
Yes.
I've been with the firm for 22 years. We are a full service financial planning and investment advisory firm. And really what we do is we are in the mindset, the money, the belief changing, the business of helping you achieve all your goals, wishes, dreams, desires,
Financially.
everything that you want to achieve. And you
Financially.
realize that money, you're gonna need money to achieve that. So we tie the money in there.
You're gonna need money to get want a beautiful spouse or something, a great spouse. to get money.
Absolutely. How you gonna what y'all gonna be broke together?
You know, they say,
No, you need money.
they say money can't buy you love, though.
I didn't say, but two things can be true at the same time. It can't buy you love, and you also need it.
Well, getting your financial house in order, it really is very, very important. It's right up there second to breathing, to air.
Mhm.
It really, really is. I mean, don't let people fool you. But when it comes down to
What if
everything,
I brought you a broke son-in-law?
I think what's wrong with you? I won't look at him. I'll look at you. I'm always looking at the cause, not the effect. The son-in-law will be the effect. Somebody caused that, and I'll be looking at you.
Like, what happened to you?
Yes.
What made you choose this?
Yes. I'm not.
What
looking
made you say this was
I mean,
okay?
he is who he is. I mean, he is. You know what I mean? I'm looking at the chooser, the picker. Well, I'll be looking at the cause, not the effect.
Got it.
And I look at things. I look at a lot of things like that. Not the effect, but the cause. Most people dwell on the effect too much, but the cause is everything. It's kind of like what we want to talk about today in terms of today's topic is, are you really doing all you could do? Now, I know you're probably looking at it, but you can't be lying to yourself because a lot of lying going on. Oh, Lord, a lot of lying. What's this season of lying? In the stars? I mean, where's retrograde? Where are we?
We're not in Mercury
We're not
retrograde.
in line.
Some planet is likely retrograding, though it happens. But who's lying?
Oh, man, just so many people lying. Just
Mm.
falsehood all over. Lying, deception. And I segued into that because I asked the audience, are you doing all you could do? And that's the first test. Are you gonna lie to yourself or not? You know what I mean? That's why I backed up in that. Are you doing all you could do? Because if you're doing all you can do, you really done enough. But if you want to really be honest with yourself and say, if you say, yeah, I'm doing all I could do, then that goes hand in hand. That means you're changing. Now, if you're not changing, it means that you're not doing all you could do. Does that make sense?
It does. It makes sense. When you say change, I get excited for change. You know that there are a large population of people who don't like to change. They're afraid of change. They look at change as something that they should not do. They look at change as something that's not positive. They look at change as being a sellout. How do we navigate that space?
Well, it depends on what area change. Some things,
Mhm.
most things change, but there's some things that should never change in terms of principles, values, morals. But some things, should change, and it must change. It depends on, what are we looking at changing. Now, when in terms of changing your thoughts, if it's going to bring, more, enhance your life, enhance some others' lives, then it's good. New design, new discovery, new development, all that's part of change and grow. When you stay stagnant, then you don't grow. And you can always, checks and balances. You can check it by saying, is this hurting? Is this change going to cause harm? That's one of the things that you can say, no, that's not good. If it's going to cause harm. I'm not talking about, a guy who's selling beeper. Now we're in the smartphones. It caused him harm financially. Not that kind of harm, because that's development. I'm saying if it's going to like life or death or something like that,
Yeah, because I was going to say oftentimes change does cause what people perceive to be harm. Right. And when I'm using the word perceive, because one person, on the person who is initiating the change, may look at it as something that they have to do for their growth or their elevation. But if there's another person on the opposite end of that change, they may perceive it to be, why are you doing this to me?
Right.
Why aren't you here with me anymore? Why aren't you hanging out with me anymore? Why are you leaving this job? Why are you leaving this church? Why are you? They perceive that change to be harmful. And so when we say that change shouldn't cause harm, I want to really open that up some, because I want our audience to understand that there's always different perspectives. I think intention matters most.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And what is the motive behind it?
Right. The intention. Because if you say, well, I don't want to change, I don't want to leave this person because I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to leave this job because I don't want to hurt them. I don't want you to misconstrue what Mr. Henderson is saying when he's saying that change shouldn't cause harm. Right. Change is going to change. Some things are going to shift. And depending on the people involved, they may perceive it differently. Here's an example, right? So let's say you've been at a job for 20 years and they love you and you love them and you guys have had a great relationship. But now the time has come where you have another opportunity, or you decided to go work for yourself and you're leaving. Depending on the owner of the company or your supervisor and where they are, they can perceive you leaving as something bad. Like, oh my gosh, that was our best employee for 20 years. What are we going to do? That's bad. And they could be talking to you in that way. This is bad. Don't leave. Or depending on where they are in consciousness, they could perceive it as something good. Like, wow, this is so great. I'm so glad after 20 years of experience, you now have the tools and the experience to go into so the interesting thing about that is you don't get to control how another person perceives things. So when we say that change should not hurt anyone, I want you to really zoom in and pay attention to what we're talking about is your intention. You are responsible for your intention, your motives, and what you're setting out to do, not the other person on the other side and how they perceive things. Because depending on their consciousness, they may label something as harmful or bad. And if you have not done your work, or if you're not of the consciousness of understanding that that's not a your problem thing, then that you allow that to keep you stuck.
True.
You allow that to keep you. Oh, well, I can't do this because I don't want to hurt them, and they gonna miss me. And it's okay, right?
Yes.
But you will allow that to keep you stuck. And a lot of us are or have been people pleasers. I'm a recovering people pleaser.
Yes.
I feel like I was a people pleaser for most of my life.
Yeah.
And
then you say, forget that.
Well, I had so many tower moments, and tower moments as tarot cards speak. You want me to read your tarot cards?
Please don't.
Tower moment. I had so many tower moments.
Most high.
Where I realized that focusing on pleasing people will never be enough. And so the tower moment came where I'm still trying to please this person and please this, and I'm doing all I can, and you still not happy. And so the tower moments where something blew up, something crashed, and I'm like, wait, hold on. This not gonna work out. Either I'm gonna just keep trying to people please in this situation. And I'm not talking about romantic relationships exclusively. Client relationships, platonic relationships, familiar relationships, different types of relationships where we do things to keep the peace. We do things because we don't want them to feel bad. And you start doing it and doing it and doing it. And before you know it, you realize it's never, ever going to be enough. So as I stated, I'm a recovering people pleaser. And I know that a lot of people out there listening are too.
Yeah. So today's topic, we're talking about,
are
you doing all you can do? And if you say you are doing all you can do, then that must mean you're changing. That's how we segued on the change part of it, because it's checks and balances to let you know. Because a lot of people are like, man, I'm doing what I can do. I do what I can do. But if you're doing the same old thing, getting up, eating peanut butter and jelly, getting on the expressway, going to the job 9 to 5, talking to your coworkers, and getting back in your car, driving slow as heck home, and on your phone, messing up traffic, you're not really changing. You're not really growing. You're doing the same thing. So, and I wanted to point that out because some people, they start lying to themselves, deceiving themselves, saying, yeah, I'm doing all I can do. No, you're not. You are not. Unless you are constantly changing on the grow, always doing something. If you are just content and you got it made and you feel like you're comfortable, you're not doing all you could do. If you feel you got a cushy job and they just pay you every 2 weeks and you can do this and do that, you're not doing all you could do. And if you're not doing what you do, you're not really living up to your God-given talent. There's a lot in you that needs to be used, and you just fluffing it. And time is going on, and you're not doing all you could do, because when you don't do all you could do, it really has a profound effect on your loved ones, yourself, and people that surround you. It's really like a rippling effect. But you're just so selfish. You're thinking like, oh, I got a cushiony job. They pay me. I'm just going to chill out. You're really doing yourself a disservice. And the problem is the time, you can't get time back later on when you're in consciousness, and when you grow and heighten in consciousness, you're going to look back and say, damn, I wish I had that time back, but you can't get it back. So that's what we're telling you right now. Are you doing all you could do? Because most people, I'm telling you, they're not. They're not, because, you know, when you see people who are really busy and active and helping and you're real busy, not busy doing nothing, but you're accomplishing goals, and it shows up. But if you just content, you're not doing all you could do. You agree?
Oh yeah.
You got to constantly be, you got to constantly be thinking about something, you know, doing this, I'm doing that, I got to do this. And I'm gonna tell you something, taking care of your mind, which is this is the whole thing of itself, taking care of your body and your soul. And you have to definitely take care of the numbers. Like last week, we talked about show business. We all in show business. Just to show what you see, and the business part is that you don't see, but that's the numbers, that's the budget. That's the cash flow. You know, that's planning. That's the numbers part. That's the boring part. That's the take your medicine part, to being healthy. But you got to have that. That's your blood flow. That's your arteries. You know, you have to take care of the business in order for this show to continue to prosper and grow. Are you doing all you can do? And like I said, change is everything. And that change thing, man, oh my God, you know, you think change is hard for most people?
I think it's uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it can be uncomfortable, but it depends on your perspective and how you look at things.
Because I think most people trying to look for a vacation, time out.
Yeah.
To do nothing.
Yes. When you are a child and have a childlike mind, then you're always looking for the easy way.
You want to play.
But as you start to go through life and have different experiences, if you reflect on the experiences and allow them to teach you, then those experiences turn into wisdom. And then wisdom will tell you that if you only take the easy way out, if everything is always just easy and smooth sailing, then you're not being challenged much. And if you're not being challenged much, then you're not changing much. It's like I had a couple challenging conversations last week. And at the end of the conversation, I said to myself, wow, I love it. I didn't say, hey, I don't want to talk to this person. I said, I love it, because the challenging conversations, the communication is allowing me to look at things that I didn't see before, where I can go deeper and become better at my craft. Right. And so these are challenging conversations with clients, is work related. And I'm just like, wow, you know, yes, and I said to one of the people, I said, communication is great. Communication is what moves the ball forward. But going back to challenging, if you look at challenges, I could have looked at those conversations like, you know what, I'm going to fire you as a client. I can't deal with this. Right. Some of y'all do be wanting to fire, but not this one. Right. But I looked at this challenging moment and said, wow, there's so much that I can learn, not only from the moment, but to dig deeper and to do what needs to be done. And so then that allowed me to change. Right. So do I believe that most people shy away from change? Yes, I believe that most people shy away from change because they are operating from a childlike mindset and perspective, and they have not yet matured enough or come into the consciousness of understanding that challenges and changes will get you to the next level.
Yeah, because most people want vacation all the time. Most people that, you know, if we didn't have to work, they'd be like, yeah, you know, most people don't really want to most people don't. They say, you know, we live in a society that it's not an agreement within ourselves. You know, we say one thing, but we do another. I mean, we really do. We say one thing, we do another. You know, I'm reminded of a survey they took some years ago, and they said that 75% of people who invest their money would rather make absolutely no money than to risk losing a penny. See, 75% of most people who invest their money, the average, would rather make no money. They find making no money as long as they don't lose a penny. Well, people say that, and that's what the survey says, but people do it differently. most those same 75% people have their money in the stock market. And that's quickly up and down, volatile. You lose more than a penny. I mean, so people, a lot of us don't know who we are or don't really know what we want. We say one thing, but we do another. I mean, you have a minister that say one thing and he does another, reads the Bible. You say one thing, politicians that say one thing and does another. You know what I mean? A lot of people say, okay, I'm going to, but they don't do it. I mean, a person goes and get cosmetic surgery and spends a lot of money. Only, don't even see them in that moment, and you see them 6 months later and they back fat again. I mean, people say one thing but do another. There has to be an agreement. That's a sign of change. That's a sign of commitment. That's a sign of discipline. And when you're trying to be all you could be, you got to have that in order. And you got to understand that it's always work to be done. It's not vacation. And when you start enjoying working on yourself to grow and prosper, it's you start to love it. That's what you're saying. You're starting to love it because you feel like you're getting, stronger. You're getting, some people actually want to physically get strong and be very weak mentally, but they want to pump a lot of iron. But it's when you take care of the business, when you mentally getting strong, you really don't have to show off your muscles, your viewpoint, your concept, your ideology. It's just bulging with muscle and with strength, and people can recognize that because you're content and you're okay. You don't have to be a bully. You could just sit back there and say, okay, why don't we look at it a different way? And people go,
So when we say that are you doing all that you can do, and we talk about change, let's give the audience some things to reflect on so that they can take the information and start looking at how they can apply it to their life, right? Okay. So we know that change is a big part of doing all you can do so that you can change your life. Now, I want to start with, are you doing all you can do? And I must differentiate that all you can do does not mean are you doing what you feel like doing?
Right.
Are you doing what you want to do? Are you doing all that you can do? And so when you look at this sentence, this statement, and you start to apply it to different areas of your life, you can apply it to your personal life, your physical life, your health, your financial life, your spiritual life. A good way to ask yourself, if you're doing all you can do, is to look at the result that you're currently experiencing and then measure that against the desire that you have.
Yeah, you have to, to say, are you doing all that you can do, you really have to have a goal.
Yeah, and to help you set that goal, you have to look at where you are.
Right.
Like, what are you experiencing?
Right.
What are you currently experiencing? This is what I'm experiencing. Don't label it good or bad. It just is. And be honest with yourself. Have that Mike Jack man in the mirror moment, right? Be honest. This is what I'm currently experiencing in my financial life, in my professional life, in my dating life, in my platonic relationships. This is what I'm currently experiencing. Is this in alignment? Does this match what I want? If the answer is no, then you ask yourself this question: am I doing all that I can do in this area?
Right.
And if you come up with a no, so let's say financially, if you had a goal, we're 7 months into 2024. So let's say December 31st, 2023, you said, you know what, in 2024, I'm going to save $25,000.
Right.
I'm going to save $25,000. Or maybe you said, I'm going to save $300 a month or $1,000 a month. And now you look at where you are now, July 3rd, 2024, and you look and you say, gosh, I didn't save it. I haven't even been saving $20 a month, or maybe I'm shy of my goal, whatever the case may be, right? Ask yourself then, am I doing all that I can do? Am I? And then in order for you to answer that question, you got to look at your behaviors, your habits, and your routines, right? Because it's easy to say, this is my goal. But if you don't take the time to look at what you can be doing on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis to achieve that goal, then you're going to consistently fall short. So when we ask you, are you doing all that you can do? What I really want everyone out there doing, watching us to do, is to take assessment at different areas of your life and look at the result. and say, hey, like I was just telling you there, I'm like, I go from work to home, work to home. Like I need to change that. I want to change that. I need to. So what do I need to do to change that?
Right. And where are you trying to go?
And where am I
Where you
trying to go?
I did that. And I'm so happy that I did that. I did a personal assessment,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember saying, man, I want to, I really want to do more, be more, I'm do more with piano. I want to get more
Mhm.
into piano.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, man, then I wanted to also, I want to learn more another language, Spanish,
Mhm.
And then I said, I wanted to get my, my body, mental, my body in shape. I wanted to get more healthier. And then I said, I wanted to, just, learn more things I don't know in terms of estate planning, financial planning, and then just, other ways how to explain things to clients. So I set a goal.
Mm-hmm.
And by right now, I work. Last night, I went from 6 to 9 for Spanish class. It's the second semester. Then I had piano earlier this morning.
Nice.
Then I went to the gym tonight. I'm gonna go to the gym. In other words, I looked at myself in terms of fulfilling and saying, what did I need? What did I know? And then I have to look at the financial stuff, and then I have to look at dealing with clients. So when you if you really want to be honest with yourself and you say, am I doing all I could do? That depends on your goals and your desires. If you have no goals and you have no desires, then we're not talking about you today. Okay. If you have no goals and you have no desires, you just want to drift and exist, then we're not talking about you. We're talking about someone who wants more, who wants better, who wants to be all they could be. That's who we're talking about today. Because there's a lot of people who just don't want nothing. They just want to exist and eat and have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for the weekend.
So when you make that assessment, right, and you're like, okay, this is where I am, this is where I desire to be, and you should have desires. Desires are the creator's way of reminding you, hey, you deserve more. Hey, you were meant for more. You were put here for more, right? So when you have a desire and you take an assessment of your current position, this is where that change that we started talking about a few moments ago comes into play, right? Because you can't get from here to there without moving. Like you can't just stay here and say, I set a goal to save $20,000 in 2024, or I set a goal to save $1,000 a month, and I am still doing everything that I was doing before that did not cause me to reach that goal.
Yeah.
You have to change. Will that change be uncomfortable? Maybe you're used to eating out every day. Maybe you're used to going out twice a week. Maybe you're used to taking a trip once a month. Right? You take a trip once a month or once a quarter, but you have no savings. Not good or bad, not right or wrong. It just is. Is that in alignment with the goal that you set for yourself? So when you take a look at that and you say, wow, okay, I'm making an assessment. Am I doing all I can do? Well, I could stop taking a trip once a month. I could start cooking more. I could actually get up and go to the gym. So then it's going to require change. And in that moment, when you come face to face with yourself, because we are all grown, nobody's making you. Nobody's going to beat you and say, you got to do, well, hopefully nobody's beating you, but ideally, no one's beating you and saying you have to do this. When you make that assessment, you have to change. And this is where the question of today's show comes into play. Are you doing all you can do? Because oftentimes what we'll do is we'll do a little something and call it a lot. Yes. Like we'll try to trick ourselves.
Yes.
We'll do a little something. Like I'm installing a new software downstairs on my computer, and the document is like 34 pages long. And I'm going step by step, and I got to like page 10, and then a little voice is like, okay, click off and go do something else. Right. And I'm like, no, you're going to have to get this done. And I'm sharing this example because Mr. Henderson and myself, we aren't exempt to the teachings that we're sharing with you. We're able to share these teachings with you from a place of wisdom, and you only get wisdom through experience and applying the knowledge by reflecting. Right. So experience alone does not give you wisdom. So we're teaching you this from a place of wisdom. So when I say to you, it's a 34-page document, I got to click here and do this and do that, a little voice was like, girl, go, you got to do this. Go send this email, go do that. Right. In that moment of uncomfortableness, because I'm reading a 34-page document with tech stuff, I had a moment. I had a decision to make. Do I click off of here and go send an email or return a call or do these things? Or do I stay and do what I know I need to do? Do I do all that I can do so that tomorrow when I come in here and log into my computer, the software is up and it's running. I don't have to customize it, because if I don't do all that I can do today, tomorrow I won't have the desired result that I want.
That's true. Because what you do today will show up tomorrow.
Yes.
Or not.
Yes. Yeah. Right. And so you have to think. So really, when you ask that question, that's why one of my signature, I have several email boxes, but one email signature is all you can do is all you can do, but all you can do is enough, which is the title of the book. Right. Love it. That's one of my signature lines.
Right.
And then the other signature line is you can always do better. And I love these quotes so much because it reminds us of the fact that where we are right now is not our permanent position. We are not permanently placed where we are. We have to have these moments where we ask ourselves, are you doing all you can do? Mr. Henderson didn't tell me to install the software. Nobody said install this software. Nobody's going to beat me if I don't install the software. I'm not going to get in no trouble. Will my life be exponentially better by installing and using this software? Absolutely. Will my clients' lives be exponentially better by installing and using it? Absolutely. So I'm sharing this example because it's not about me. It's not about the software. It's about where you are in your life. I always want people to understand that you can always do better. You can have better. You can do whatever you want to do if you're willing to do the work. And that means you have to change.
You got to take some action. You got to take some action.
You got to change.
I'm reminded of a young lady who the other day I was talking to. She makes $75,000 a year. She's single. She lives with her parents. She's 42 years old. She has nothing saved. Nothing saved. So she said, Mr. Henderson, and I was talking to her and I was saying, you should be saving minimum $1,500. It's $18,000 a year. And she looked at me like I was a ghost. She said, how can I do that? I'm not accustomed to doing that. She said, you're going to have to help me because I'm accustomed just, after they take out the taxes, I go on the weekend, go with my girlfriends, have a good time. And that's what I'm accustomed to. And I've been used. It's going to be really hard for me. You said, listen, you tell me to save $1,000 or $1,500 of my money. I said, yeah, it's your money. But she has been so comfortable with not saving until it had became habitual. It has become a habit. A lot of us have bad financial economic habits that we, it's like smoking, you know what I mean? I love it now, you know what I mean? Even though it's killing you, but I have to work with her mentally, and working with her is going to be totally mentally because the money is there and she don't have a mortgage and she lives with her mom and dad and she's 42 years old and her credit score is like 580. So that means she's not accustomed to paying anybody. So but there's a lot of entertainers and athletes in that same boat. It's not always about you need more money. That's why on Wednesday, the show is called Transitions, because we deal with your mental state, your mindset.
Yeah. And it's so tricky. A lot of times you get into this habit, this rhythm where you don't realize, outwitting the devil, hypnotic rhythm. You're getting into this hypnotic rhythm where you don't even realize that your habits are creating a reality that you don't desire. So for her, she makes 61,000 or 70,000. She makes 75,000. And she's in such a hypnotic rhythm of getting her check and spending her money, getting her check and spending her money, getting her check and spending her money, getting her check. This is real life.
Yes.
You are in hypnotic rhythms in areas of your life where you don't even realize. And then you look at people on the outside and because our hypnotic rhythm is different than your hypnotic rhythm. So we know that if you're in a hypnotic rhythm, it's almost like in a trance state. You don't even realize that. What do you need to do to break yourself out of that trance? It's not going to be easy in the beginning. It's going to be uncomfortable. Right. So if Mr. Henderson says you got to save $1,500 a month, that's going to be uncomfortable because you've been in this trance.
Just the thought of it freaked out.
Right. You've been in this trance. So maybe, hey, you talk to Hyacinth. I'm like, hey, 1,500 one time, I'm not snatching you off, right? But Mr. Henderson, they want to baby step you, right? So maybe they'll start with putting $500 a month here, putting $700 a month here, right? The point is, let's remove this example and look at your life and what you're doing. Where are you in a hypnotic rhythm? And you don't even realize that you're in a hypnotic rhythm. And a good way for you to tell that you're in a hypnotic rhythm that is not in alignment with your desires and your goals and your wishes and your dreams is if you don't have the things that you want to have. If you don't have the relationships that you want to have, if you don't have the experiences that you want to have, you got to go back and say, what am I doing Are you in the hypnotic rhythm of watching TV all day and every day? Are you in the hypnotic rhythm of being on social media? Are you in the hypnotic rhythm of fussing and cussing people out? What hypnotic rhythm are you in that is secretly, because you don't even realize it, because you're hypnotized? Right. So what trance do you need to come out so that you can make change and then shift to saying, I'm going to do all that I can do?
Right. And if you don't, like I said, how you can check yourself to find out, all you got to do is look at yourself and see, have you made any changes? And now if you have not made any changes, then you're still in the same old boat. You're still doing the same thing, because you're going to get the same results. It's got to be uncomfortable. You got to do something different. You know what I mean? You got to cut off the sugar. You know what I mean? If you want to lose some weight or see something different, just don't eat sugar for a whole 30 days. You're going to see a whole difference in your body and everything.
Brain fog. What?
Yes.
Baby, that brain fog gonna go away when you cut that sugar out. You're gonna be like, oh, I'm not slow. I could think that brain fog is just,
it's crazy.
It's mind blowing. I made some yams. Your mama was in the kitchen with me that day. I said it. I made some yams Sunday.
Your mama.
Baby, them ancestors came through. Let me tell you. I made the yams and I said, okay, I'm gonna taste a little bit. I'm just gonna have a little bit. And I tasted a little bit and I went and I got a little bit. Huh? So the next day, Kai texted me and she was like, Mom, these yams. I said, I knew it. But you got to use sugar.
You always made some really good yams. You always made some.
Johnny Mae she was in the kitchen because, baby, but I brought it because sugar, right? Yes. So then the sugar, I'm going to taste it a little bit because
sugar has a profound effect on you.
And then so that was Sunday, right? So I'm like, okay. Monday, I woke up, I'm fine. Monday night, I go home, I'm having a little bit more. Brown sugar.
Ain't gonna hurt.
Tuesday, and I woke up, brain fog.
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh.
It's amazing.
Right. So I didn't have any more yesterday, but it was good.
So the reason why Heisey's saying this is metaphor basically is true, but you got to do some self-examination. You know, you really do have to do some self-discovery. Don't rely on those doctors, man. You yourself, you are the best doctor of yourself. You know exactly what's going on. You know, I mean, like if you drink milk, you know, and you watch how your body change, or if you have some alcohol, I mean, you see how you feel the next morning. You know, you got to take care of yourself. You got to take charge. You're the master. You know, you really, really do. I mean, if you really want to know the truth, and each and every one of us should want to know the truth about me, myself, and I. Nobody can tell you. You need to know for yourself about your body and how you act and how you feel. Don't go with the crowd. The crowd can do that, but you know, for your tank, for your gas tank, for your motor, for your brains, you need certain amount of stuff. You can't drink that water. You got to drink this water because you feel pretty good. You know, you have to know that. And that's what life is all about. When you get engaged into your life, you become more better, more sharper, more supreme. And then you are in line with what the Creator has for you. You cannot get all you could get if you're going off the left field and the Creator says you're supposed to be over here. And you don't have time to be dogging nobody. You don't have time to be down in nobody because you got a lot of stuff to do for yourself. You have to have a mental, spiritual cleansing. And that's when you start loving yourself and saying, man, let me do all I could do and let me be the master of myself and make these changes so I can get what I need to get so it can show up on the outer plane. That's it. That's my story. I'm talking fast because it's 10 minutes to 1. And boy, I gotta.
You know, the market closed early today. I just started at 1 o'clock. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? And I'll let you go because I know how you get when you ready to go. You ready to go.
2 minutes.
I don't want to be rushed anymore.
Okay, well, I'm gonna leave this because I got.
Okay, listen. What I wanted to say is for those of you who are out there listening.
Order me a salad fizz, okay?
Okay.
Go ahead.
For those of you who are out there listening and you watch our show, I want you to understand when we share these things with you, one of the most dominant feelings that I sincerely wish you to have is the feeling of excitement, the feeling of empowerment, the feeling of, oh, wait, this could really be my life, because it could. So when I share this, and sometimes you'll see my energy rise and I'm getting passionate because I really, really want you to understand, and overstand that you can have whatever life you want to have in all areas of your life. It's going to require change. It will require time, but one thing is for sure and two things are for certain. If you make the small changes and consistently do it, time is going to do time. Time is going to do itself anyway.
Take care of itself.
It's going to take care of itself. But if you just create new habits and new routines and be consistent, then you will look up and say, oh my gosh, how did I get this life? How am I in this position?
Magical.
and we say it's magical, but it really is about you understanding, watching, listening, hearing, and saying, wow, you know what? I could change. You've changed in so many areas of your life already without you being intentional. You grew from a little teeny bopper to now a grown adult. You've changed. Your body has changed. Your hair has changed. Why not be more intentional with the change? That's what I want to leave you with. Okay, we gotta go. Mr. Henderson is he's being Mr. Henderson,
I gotta
y'all.
go. Time,
And I must go order his salad.
Yes.
Like a good daughter.
Yes. Yes.
All right. You all have a great day. We won't be here next Wednesday.
We'll be out of town.
You be out of town? Yes, me too.
Yes. We'll be out of
I usually
town.
don't tell my
Yes.
business
Happy
until I
4th of
come
July.
back. Yes. Are you having a barbecue tomorrow?
No.
You know, I was thinking about the times when I was like, no, I don't celebrate, but I'm ready to celebrate now.
Oh, that's good for you.
I've grown past that.
Yeah, that's changed.
I've changed. I've grown past
That's
that. I am
changed.
an American. I will
That's
shall
changed. Even
celebrate
Christmas,
the
that's
4th of
changed.
July. I'm not celebrating Christmas.
Okay.
All right. Gotta go. Love
right.
y'all. See y'all
Peace.
soon.
Yes.
Peace. Wait, it's still live. Here we go.